Another perspective, and one that has been very insightful in helping me and also challenged me when I first heard it, is this. The way that the shift into matriarchy occurs is less about women coming and fixing everything that the men have done, quote unquote, wrong. And it's deeper than that. It is our ability as women to go into our divine masculine and heal our divine masculine to create a room for our divine feminine to shine. Earlier today, I posted on Threads the following. My Garifuna ancestors have been chatting with me about the shift into matriarchy and divine feminine guidance. I've been sitting with sharing some of the gems they've been dropped in. Do y'all want parts? And 5 of y'all said, yes, please. Yes, throws in, we do, of course. Give us the tea. So here we are. Hola, mis amores. My name is Janori Pouncil. I am a 4th generation Garifuna Buyei. Here's what my ancestors are sharing with me about the shift into matriarchy and divine feminine guidance. We are already in the middle of this transition from the patriarchy into the matriarchy, from the rigidity of feminine and masculine into the fluidity of genders. We're seeing now that there are more ways of people expressing their gender, the sense of self. So we are already in the middle of this transition. What I've been really curious about with the ancestors and what I've been asking them about is, what do we need to know as we navigate these transitions? What do we need to know as we are in the middle of what can be perceived as a very chaotic time, as both the divine feminine and the divine masculine is operating with itself? Here's what they have shared with me thus far. The first thing they brought my attention to is that our perception of shifting from patriarchy into matriarchy, from the divine feminine, from divine masculine to divine feminine, is very limited right now. And what they mean by that is that we tend to see it as we're going from the men have been doing things in a way that has not been quote unquote good. And we're coming in like a mother comes to clean up, right? When like a mother comes to say, okay, time to fix everything, time to get everything together. So now mom's gonna fix everything. I'm gonna clean up your mess and I'm gonna make everything okay. Another perspective, and one that has been very insightful in helping me and also challenged me when I first heard it, is this. The way that the shift into matriarchy occurs is less about women coming and fixing everything that the men have done, quote unquote, wrong. And it's deeper than that. It is our ability as women to go into our divine masculine and heal our divine masculine to create a room for our divine feminine to shine. I'm going to say that one more time because that one got me when they first told me this. In order for us to coexist healthy with our divine feminine guidance and to operate healthily in the matriarch society, it's going to be required that we go and address, love, nurture, care for our divine masculine energy and heal that energy. A lot of us don't realize this. We have a very unhealthy relationship with our divine masculine energy. We let it control us. We let it drive us. We let it take us into spaces that we say we don't want to go anymore. Personally, it's the reason why I have a difficult time setting boundaries, because I feel like I have to go all the time. I don't get to rest. So it's challenging for me to set boundaries with environments that are not serving me because I'm being driven by that energy, that divine masculine energy. We all have both the divine masculine energy and the divine feminine energy. It's not just men that have divine masculine and women have divine feminine. No, both of us have that. This is the result of the law of gender, which is one of the universal laws that operates where we exist. So it's important that we are aware of that. And for us as the matriarchs in the making, matriarchs to be, it's important that we understand what's really happening beneath the surface. The relationship that the divine masculine and the divine feminine have is of trust, not codependency. When I am in my healthy divine feminine energy, I trust my divine masculine energy, which means that I trust that there is a time for me to rest and be in stillness, and there's a time for me to move and be in action. Those things coexist. And what the ancestors are helping me see is the ways in which I'm not holding space to heal my divine masculine energy, and how my decision to do that is impacting my ability to grow into my divine feminine energy. When I'm trusting my divine masculine energy, when I'm trusting that once something has been inseminated in the body or in the mind or in the spirit, it gets to have that space to nurture, to grow. It gets to be a womb. And then when that means that when it's time to act, I know it's time to act because I've been resting. So this is a very interesting thing to sit with, especially as I've been working with the ancestors through this. It's been really interesting to experience it. I realize that there's quite a bit of healing that I'm being invited into when it comes to my divine feminine energy, my divine masculine energy. And it doesn't look like how I thought it was going to look. Like I thought it was only going to be being in my divine feminine energy, only going to be in resting, only going to be in womb mode. And that's not the case. Sometimes that is the case. There is a space for that. If you are a mother, you know what I'm talking about. When you are in womb mode where your baby's growing inside of you, then this is occurring. You know that you can't rush the baby. Baby's going to get here when baby's going to get here. So that time is that. And then when baby gets here, there's a time for action, right? There's a time for starting to get to know baby and starting to learn baby's habits, starting to learn your own habits, getting some rest. All of these things that become part of the parent experience. There's a time for stillness and to be a womb, and there's a time for movement and for action once the baby arrives. These things coexist, and the ancestors have been wanting me to see that it is as important that I am taking action when I know the time is right, as it is important that I am sitting in stillness when I feel the body asking for that. And that really tricked me up at first. Again, I was pretty much sitting on healing the divine feminine energy. This shift, this matriarch shift, was all about the feminine coming in and cleaning house and fixing everything. See, operating out of that ego energy, like I gotta fix something is wrong. And with this experience with the ancestors, with the communications and conversations I've had with them around this, have helped me see, like, it's about us healing ourselves, and ourselves is healing our relationship with the divine masculine energy, because it's a part of us. So we can't just eradicate it. If we don't acknowledge this, we'll find ourselves in that space where we are constantly wanting people to feel what we felt when they were in quote unquote leadership, versus when we have a healthy relationship with our divine masculine energy, we can acknowledge when it's time to act and also when it's time to rest. It is a trusting relationship that we develop between the divine feminine energy and the divine masculine energy, not a codependent relationship, which is what most of us tend to have. And it's been helping me to understand how to operate. It's been showing me ways in which I move out of alignment subconsciously. And it's been inviting me to coming back into alignment. Every time that I find myself operating in the unhealthy side of my divine masculine energy, anytime I find myself going on that go hard no matter what, rest when you die energy, hustle mentality, I'm able to redirect. I'm able to invite myself into a new space where I can rest and I can act. And because I rest, it's easier to know when to act, and it's easier to act when the time is here. So those are some of the things that I have been receiving from the ancestors that they have been sharing with me on this topic. If you want to stay connected on this, check me out here on Threads. And I'm also going to be sharing this stuff on my YouTube channel. I am starting my YouTube channel for like the 15th time, 30th time. We ain't keeping track, all right? And this time I'm excited because I'm sharing from this space full ownership of who I am as a Buyei, full ownership of who I am as a Garifuna woman, full ownership of my gifts, of who I've decided to be in this lifetime. And it feels really exciting. We'll see what comes out of this. My name is Yunori Pansel. You've been a part of From the Buyei Journal, and I will see you soon. Hasta luego.